Puentes, before we started,
Mhm.
you dismissed. I'm not going to even get into the details of what we were talking about, but we were talking about someone doing something, and you said, doing that my ass. And I'm just like wondering, like, where does that phrase come from? Like, where people, like, why does my ass have to be something that's not true? My
I
ass is very true.
yeah, that's funny. I never really thought about that, but we had a saying in my old job that when someone was like really lying, we would say, "Get out of my ass with that," and we don't even know what that meant.
What?
So now I'm
Yeah,
in your ass.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. I guess that means like you're surrounded by. I don't know. You're surrounded by shit. I don't know. But whenever someone was saying something ridiculous, like man, get out. You know, I don't know why it exists or what we were doing or
Life is weird with phrases, am I right?
it really is. You just pick stuff up along the way. Just like friends.
Tony,
Sir,
at UFC, you're in it this weekend. I see
I'm
you out there. You're in there. The kid is getting after it.
yeah,
What's the
yeah,
scene? Is it Moss? I just saw a Sports Center Masvidal like little hype piece with him driving around Miami with
yeah.
Brett Amato. Was it Brett
Brett Okamoto, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And it got me hyped. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really hyped
Dude,
for this fight, but now he's like, dude, Miami's gonna be behind me.
it's crazy.
It's pretty exciting.
So me, Juju, and Lewis were at the press conferences yesterday, and we were it's like 112 and 113 of the AAA, and they put basically on the floor is where they had like the press conference, but they had like those like black curtains that kind of shut out the rest of the arena. So we were in like the third row from the bottom. So we were right there, basically maybe like 20 or 30 feet from these guys, kind of a little elevated. But everybody behind us was all the crowd. So there's no differentiation between media and between the fans. So like we sat in the last media row. So the people right directly behind us were all fans. Dude screaming anytime anybody would say anything. You couldn't hear what like the fighters were saying or what Dana was saying because of how people were screaming behind us. So like George would come up and the crowd would go crazy. And then like Alex Pereira, one of the middleweight champion who's fighting against Adesanya, anytime he would say anything, people would just boo him, relentlessly boo him. You couldn't even hear what he was saying. He couldn't even talk. Like it was mayhem. So yeah, the place is going to be electric on Saturday night. They're expecting obviously super sold out. I don't know if you can walk into the arena without paying like $600, $700, $1,000 for a decent seat. Like the place is going to be absolutely insane, and we're going today.
I want to go
What's super
so
sold
bad.
out?
Yeah,
Super sold out is like you have sold out, right? All the tickets are sold out.
Yeah, which is
But then-
all that can happen.
Correct.
Correct.
There's standing room only. That's also sold out. Right. And then when you get to those two being sold out, the resale value for those tickets are now like triple, quadruple, quintuple the price. So that's super sold out.
Ooh,
Judges?
quintuple.
That's super
I like this.
sold out.
Yeah.
Super sold out.
Yeah, the lowest ticket right now in SeatGeek is 214, and that's section 400, which
I-
is standing room.
I want
Less
to
than
go,
the 700.
At the
dudes.
Kaseya Center.
but that's like a four.
But he said to be fair, he said decent seat.
Decent seat.
Yeah.
Is
I
this
want
the
to
worst
go.
name for an arena?
I refuse to call it that. I'm not going to call it whatever it is.
Jeremy, you don't have to answer. You can't.
Well, all I was
answer.
gonna say is I like saying it. I'm not saying that it's a great name, but Kaseya Center, there's something about that flows. I missed the AAA, but I like Kaseya Center better than
It sounds-
Miami-Dade Arena.
No, it sounds better than FTX Arena too. FTX
Certainly
was not
better
good.
than FTX. Like
Yeah.
I missed the AAA. I can 100%. I wish it was still the AAA, but this is the fourth name in like a year and a half.
What are the rankings for you guys in terms of center, arena, stadium, park, field house, coliseum?
This is great.
Fieldhouse can get out of here.
Fieldhouse is the
Stupid.
worst.
Arena's number one.
I like the places that double dip. It's like XYZ Field at XYZ Park
Ooh.
or whatever. And it's
Nah,
like,
that's
no,
you're
that's
getting all, you're getting
that's
all the
corporate
money.
bullshit.
Yeah,
That's
you're getting all
corporate
the money.
bullshit.
Alex Rodriguez Park at Mark Light Field, right?
There you
think
go.
that's
I didn't
what
want
it is.
to call any
In
That's
Vesco
just-
Field at Mile High Stadium
Uh-huh.
by Dick's or
It's
whatever
like-
it is. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Teams, like,
crazy.
They want to keep like their old name, but they want to make money. So it's
Right.
like,
Right.
we're gonna stay true to our roots, but also get a little bag.
Well,
Mhm.
the ridiculous ones I think are not even like the stadiums, the fields, or whatever. It's when it's like the whatever family head coach of the University of Michigan. You know what I mean? Like they've sold the naming rights to the head coaching position.
Like,
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
there is
former
one of
head
those, right?
coach.
There's a couple of them now. Like this
Yeah.
became a thing. No, like a family, like a rich donor family
Mhm.
will make a donation so that the head coaching position is named after
I
them.
gotcha. Don't they have that at Iowa? Isn't
I-
Kurt Ferentz like brought to you by the, whatever
Yeah, it's
family, the
something
Jones
like that.
family?
So they stole the Sheets and Giggles gimmick before Cody had it.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
No, because Cody
What?
by Sheets and Giggles, they took it first.
Oh,
Head
right,
coach
right.
XYZ by yeah.
I have so many things. I thought you meant they combined some words or something.
No.
I have so many things. To answer Billy, I think it's the worst is Fieldhouse.
100%.
Then I think it's, what were the other ones he said?
It doesn't matter.
There's
doesn't.
center, arena, stadium.
I
Yeah.
think that arena is the best, probably, like as opposed to center. But I think it totally depends on like I'd prefer Kaseya Center to Kaseya Arena because it just flows better. So I'm comfortable with something changing its name to make sure that when we all say it, it's more comfortable.
Like to what we were talking about before, like like Duke plays at Cameron Indoor, right?
Right.
Mhm.
At some point, that's going to be called Krzyzewski Court at Cameron Indoor or something
I
like
think
that. Like, they're
that
gonna
It's
bring-
not already.
The
Yeah.
they're gonna
Dean
give
Dome is like
Krzyzewski
that.
Something.
Yeah.
Let me see the Dean E. Smith Center.
Should
feel like
name like our
that's-
new studio. Our new studio should get a
Ooh.
name. The Dan Le Batard, the Wiener Studios.
Hmm.
I started calling the back studio, and I'm the only one that refers to it that way. So it's Studio B, but I just started calling it Studio Billy. Like I named it after myself.
Yeah,
but
nobody's gonna call
one's-
it that.
No one's picked up on that yet.
Or
I think
studio
what I may
base.
do is create an actual sign and put it up while
anybody
no
notices.
one's paying attention. Yeah. Or
I'm
I
gonna
think the doors
I'm gonna
are
deface the sign.
okay, great. I think I may also print like a magnet and just put a magnet on the door. Also, what I think I'm gonna do is like because this is something that they had at Bristol that was very helpful, and we keep running into this problem, which is like they literally had on the door. Now I won't do it this fancy because I don't know how, but they had like a little screen that had like a
Oh, yeah.
schedule of who
Mhm.
was using the studio when. And I tried to get like a dry erase board on our other one here in the Clevelander. For Studio Billy, I'm going to put on the door a dry erase board with a calendar so that we know when people are using it, because we keep running into issues. And I'm going to say that the biggest offender is Amin. We keep running
100%.
into issues
It
where
should
we
be
need
Studio
to
Amin.
use that back studio, not
Dude,
Studio Billy.
It happened
Well-
to me the other day where I have it booked. It's in the calendar. I walk over there. Amin's in there.
No one
I had to do-
respects
And
it.
for 4
No one-
hours. He's in
Yeah.
there for 4
Adnan-
hours.
I had to do Adnan and Samson like without a mic. I was
Right.
like doing Zoom audio because I was just in that other room we have.
I created a calendar just for that studio that no one respects or uses except Chris Cody.
And Billy, it's me and you.
Yeah, so like,
I
don't know
didn't
that
even know
Amin
that
has.
existed.
Yeah, I don't know if Amin has access to it, so I can. But like, it seems like Amin feels like when he just comes into town, he's just going to use that studio whenever, and
It's
it's
like
like
a sticky on the door.
It's planned.
Like Amin
Yeah.
needs this from 12 to 4. Like
Oh, does
the
he at
day
least
of.
do that?
I've walked by it
Sometimes,
before,
yeah.
and I see
Well,
a
because
sticky there.
I've started putting a sticky saying like Stugotz, whatever, because a lot of times like corporate people will come into town and they'll just decide this is my office for today, and it's like we need to use that. That's a recording studio.
And
I think
we're-
the dry erase board is a problem though, because it can be fudged, right? Somebody can walk by, kind of like smudge it out, put a different number.
if
So I
it's
think we
12
need
to
a little.
4, if you erase that one, all of a sudden
Yeah, all of a
it's
sudden it's 2 to 4.
Guys,
That would be nefarious.
You should buy an iPad and then charge to the company and then put it on the thing
no.
and then be able to create the schedule through
You
there.
gotta,
I'm
do is you
getting-
gotta write your schedule, take a picture. Boom.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
infallible.
going to make magnets. Let's say Studio Billy. The other one will be a dry erase board where you put down time, talent, whatever that is
I like
using
this.
the studio, because we
Not-
need organization.
And it's
We
not
do.
like these problems
No.
are ending
Us?
because at our new studio, we only have 2 studios. It's not like we have a third one at this new place. that
Well,
we can-
I think we have the ability for one in what will be the penalty box.
Correct.
Like I
Correct.
think we could probably set up like similar to what our current second studio is. We could probably set one of those up in there. But like I already know that room 100% is going to be I'm a big shot. This is my office for
Yep.
the week.
Correct, yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
they're gonna like set it
So-
up and it has a great view, right? So there's just
Yeah.
gonna be a little table in there and that's it. It's
So what
gonna be
happens when
like
people
a-
get thrown into the penalty box? You have to like be in there with them, like in
Yeah,
that
we
meeting?
invade Pablo's office.
That guy start
Follows
doing
up.
anything. Was he on the
Yeah.
show this week?
No, he just
No.
No.
collecting checks.
That's the dream, man.
it really is.
It was because Mike told him not to, just because it's
Uh-huh.
going to be hectic this week and next week. That it's like we'll start you fresh once we're in the new.
To be a guest?
Yeah,
On the
that's
phone?
what I don't understand either. Just hop on the Zoom.
I think
What-
they
like,
intend
what-
to
Just
what-
soft
be-
launch.
I think they intend him to be more of like an Amin that comes in for full shows.
Well, I think it is kind of
Well,
funny.
you're EP, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
Yeah, I should ask you.
I'm in
Yeah.
these meetings. I can let you guys.
Shouldn't you have made the call if you're in charge?
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
really just. I'm talking.
But Billy,
out
you
of-
were also in charge this week.
I was
so
never
why
in
didn't
charge
EP?
this week?
I'm really just talking out of my ass right now. To bring it back to
Oh,
something
speaking
we were
of,
talking about.
the
Get out of my ass with
etymology
that,
of
Cody.
my ass, according to English.stackexchange.com, the usage of my ass to mean me is now relatively common. My impression is that it originated from AAVE, which is the African American Vernacular English, and has been included in various dialects. The engram below implies that it became popular in the 1970s. So, save my ass was the original connotation for using my ass as an expression to mean me.
Get out of my ass with that shit, Jeremy.
There you go.
I have a question for Tony,
Yes.
and I thought about it because of the website that you mentioned. I don't remember what the website was, but it made me think of this. Tony, you have, I believe, a Substack now, right?
Correct.
So do people have to,
RearNakedChoke.substack.com.
do they have to pay to subscribe to that? or
Absolutely
it's
free. Absolutely free.
Wow.
Go
Look at that.
subscribe, Mr. Craig. Let's go. Subscribe.
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
Kid.
come
I mean,
on.
Rear Naked
Rear
Choke.
Naked
Support the
Choke,
kid.
Substack.
Substack.com.
How many entries have you made so far?
Writing wise, I've made I think 2 or 3. This week's been a little hectic. I might write something up for 287 today or tomorrow. Just something a little light, but it's been fun. It's something that I like to exercise my writing once in a while when I have things that I want to say that I don't have a place to say them.
Yeah. Speaking of paid side projects, Cody, how's your Instagram going? How many
wow,
subs you got
thank
on
for
that?
this.
I don't
No,
like
not
the
great.
paid stuff. I
Not
like
great.
free stuff.
But
Yeah,
you
I
haven't
agree.
subscribed to my free thing yet.
Billy, with
I'm
with
on
this
it right now.
With this mentality,
Oh, nice. Sign
with this
up.
mentality, you'll never be an influencer. Never.
I mean, I feel like we like charge the fans for enough things. You know
Like,
what I mean?
sure,
Like
what do we charge our fans for?
I mean, look, I'm not charging the fans for things.
I mean, I'm just saying, what do they get charged?
That's true. Guillermo Town is totally free.
Guillermo Ton is totally free, and I will also say I have not received a penny from Peloton for anything. So like
But you
that
also
is
need a
seriously
Peloton to have it.
just
which is
me.
also
Yeah.
tough.
Well, yeah. I mean, what do you want me to do, man?
No,
I'm just trying,
I can only
trying to
do so
exercise
much.
the people.
I agree. No, I agree.
Yo, Tony, what is this website? Because I just typed in rearnakedchoke.com.
No.
Don't do that.
No, it's dot,
Do that.
it's
Holy
dot Substack.
crap, dude.
Yeah.
It's dot Substack.
Dot
com.
Naked Choke, yeah.
My
I
wife is
don't
gonna be
wanna
like,
know.
What site were you on?
So this, it seems like was your brainchild in November,
Yeah.
and you just said this is the Rear Naked Choke, a newsletter about Let's Talk UFC, which is
No,
we gotta
it's
go back
the,
and fix that.
No, the way that the way that Substack does it, it like tells you to like put certain things in certain places, and it's like, what is it about? What's this? What's that? And it just doesn't make sense when. So yeah, I do have to go fix it.
Well, you got to
Wait.
type it. It just says this is the Rear Naked Choke, a newsletter about Let's Talk UFC.
Yeah, I know.
There's only 3 posts, and one of them is 4 words long, as a typo.
You're really selling it, Billy. I mean, you're doing what you're doing. What
which
Mike
one
does.
has a
He, like,
typo?
he pitches
Oh, for
my
stupidity,
Instagram
which
and
is
then he
like-
crushes it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't tell if Billy's selling your thing or trying to.
I am. I'm trying to get people on there.
What's
Just
the typo? What's the post of the typo?
a newsletter about Let's Talk UFC?
Yeah, correct. That's
Not-
so.
Not the
Just-
best grammar.
That's
no,
not.
that's not.
It autofills for him.
It
I'll
exactly.
defend in defense of Tony.
It's literally the first thing that they put out. It's like, oh, here it is, and it's like, oh, well, I don't want this, but too bad. This is what you have, and I'm like, ah. And it happened in November.
Tony,
defe-
I see here that there's like you can pledge money, so like
could.
people can offer, and that money will go to you or to Substack.
Well, to me and also to Substack, but that's a pledge. Like, hey, here's $5 if you ever become a paid Substack. Here's $5 towards your paid Substack. So like,
It's like a
it's like a pledge of like, oh yeah, once you do it, which I don't know if I will. Once you do it, here's some cash. So it's whatever.
Yeah,
I don't really
I
do
just-
it for that.
I just
I will-
subscribed.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Chris.
I
Yeah,
think
you know what?
Thank you,
think
guys. Very nice.
I'm gonna do this
you need to do this more often if you want it to grow.
I do, but
That's my problem with the Instagram.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm giving decent. Like I get messages back from the followers when I put content out, but then I'll go like 3 days. Like when I first did this, I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna charge $5 a month, I'm gonna give people stuff every day.
That's
I've
the
definitely
problem.
slacked on that.
That's
I've,
the thing. Like when you sign up for these paid things, you like give yourself a burden of content.
Right. There's the
Because
pressure.
yeah, you got to put stuff out for free because that's
Yep.
your normal thing, and then you have to put stuff out paid. So you kind of
Right.
like put a burden on yourself. Of course, it works out if you can do it because you're getting paid, obviously. But it's a lot more than people think. That's why like I always laugh when people are like, "Oh, you just make videos for a living. You just do this, you just do that." It's like it's not
Well,
as easy as that.
So
Yeah,
time
I mean,
consuming.
It's
time
easier
consuming,
than
yeah.
like tarring roofs and building
Yes,
roads.
also
So it's
true.
not
Yeah,
like
correct.
the hardest thing in the world is making videos, but
Not at all.
it is like that's really the thing where I wouldn't want to charge people for a subscription for like Twitter or Instagram or
Right.
whatever, because I don't want to
Have the
fail.
burden of yeah.
Not the burden. I don't want to fail in delivering to them if I'm asking them to pay me for things.
Right.
You know
But
what I mean?
but that pressure is a burden.
Right.
Yeah.
See, like the cool thing about the Substack is that I use it as an exercise of like creativity for me, right? So like I'll be like, oh, I really want to talk about UFC. I don't really have a place to do it. Let me do it on my own page. When I feel inspired, I want to go write, I'll go do it there. And then I don't have to do it if I don't want to because I'm not charging anybody. It's like, hey guys, you're along on this journey with me of like just me emptying my brain on what I want to talk about on a certain subject. So
But
Which,
you
by the
should
way-
try to strive for some regularity.
Correct,
then
which is
people
what I-
don't know when you've been inspired.
correct, which is why I try to do it for, if you look back in the last couple, it's been either previews or recaps of the pay-per-view events, right? So the first one was 285, a recap there. I had another one for 286, and then 287 I'll
doing
either
all
have
the main cards. The big
yeah, all the main cards. So it just, they're a month apart. So
And
it's
And if you all want more free coverage of Tony's thoughts on UFC, you'll be able to get it on Monday as
Yeah.
his post-fight recap will air on our main feed. So looking forward to that, Tony.
me and
That's gonna be
Juju,
fun.
we're going to be at the fights watching and reporting live.
None of you guys
Nice.
are going to the office next week, right?
I mean,
I'm the only one that lives relatively close.
I don't know
Are
what
you
that
going
means.
in?
Yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna
a
be
Clevelander?
there.
No, new spot.
Yeah,
Were
we're
you
gonna be
expect-
there.
I thought we were
You're-
expected there Wednesday.
yeah,
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Is that what they
Oh, that's
said? I thought
right.
that was an off day Wednesday.
No,
that change?
it's
No.
very confusing.
I gotta go every day because just the internet there is so much better than it is here at my house that I need to do like maintenance stuff when it comes to archiving and whatnot. So I'm gonna be there like every day. Plus the gym is like phenomenal. So
That's the part that's the most exciting, I think.
I want to see in like 2 months. Everyone's talking about this gym.
I'm
I
going to
wanna
use it a
see in
couple of
2
times.
months. I believe
Couple
Fuentes
times.
actually. If I had to put money on people, I'm not saying Fuentes is one of them. I could see Fuentes doing it regularly, but everybody's talking about this gym like they're
Yeah.
doing it every
The
day.
gym-
No, I'll be
really
at the pool
good.
more than the gym. That's for
Yeah.
sure. If I'm going to
That's
use one or
weird.
the other.
That's also not true.
That's not true.
The way I look at it is
no, Jeremy has a good yeah. He ran this by me and it actually makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
Jer- way
Jeremy,
all right, go ahead. You go ahead and criticize.
No, I'm not going to criticize. I can see you benefiting most from the amenities
I
because
am.
of your schedule.
I am
That's-
going
that-
to benefit
that's what
the
he's
most,
saying. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you're like when you have a Heat game to do, you're just gonna hang down there and like
Correct.
chill at the pool, do some editing.
Mhm.
yeah, that's the best part.
is-
We're literally right across the street from
Well,
the Kaseya
Now
Center.
the murderers know
The
how to get to
AAA.
us.
No, I
Yeah,
think
triple A.
that's been.
No, dude, there's
Dude,
so many levels of
There's so-
security
yeah,
there.
there's so much
Oh, it's
security
crazy.
there. Like at the Cleveland door, it was a staircase and Frankie. Like that's
Well,
it.
Frankie will take somebody out.
Yeah, no,
Frankie will
I'm
take
like-
somebody the fuck
Yeah,
out.
but that's it. Like anybody could have just walked in. Here you have to like walk in, specific elevator, specific way to get in.
Uh-huh.
Then you deal with Frankie.
I don't even know how to get in.
Yeah, then there's like
And I've been
multiple
there already.
elevators. There's like false elevators.
Mhm.
You got to like fight through the bathroom.
And then you have to walk through a door to then go through the
Correct.
garage and then walk in another building. Like,
Correct.
it's crazy.
Talking earlier about like my Instagram thing, and I'm not gonna lie. When I went to that new studio the other day, I was resisting on using like
The
to get
subs?
more followers to be like, all right, I'm walking in,
behind
doing
the
that thing where I
scenes.
put the subscribe thing, like, hey, I'm about to show you guys the new studio, and then I would show them like the bathroom, like inside the bathroom.
That's dude. Like I was gonna say, like on Wednesday when you go, just do it inside of the bathroom and then just like open the door and then close it.
I'll do like from the parking garage. All right, I'm walking into the new studio.
That's great.
Subscribe if you want to see it, and then I'll only show inside the bathroom.
Did you see the dog pictures in the bathroom? How do you feel about those?
I haven't been in the bathroom actually.
I saw them
took
and I
a
really
leak.
liked them. I like them.
I was like, huh. Okay. I'd rather beach pictures. Do you guys
Well,
have
he'll-
pictures that make you feel more relaxed to go to the bathroom?
I do have beach pictures like in my bath,
Like beachscapes?
Like it's kind of just like a vista. A beach.
Why
It like
is-
relaxes me.
Why are so many bathrooms beach themed?
Good question.
Relaxing.
I think to calm people down.
Yeah.
It can be a stressful environment.
Is it a South Florida thing? Because we live
No,
here?
don't do that damn thing. There's beach bathrooms everywhere.
Don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if someone in Iowa has like.
That's
a
true.
beach
Maybe
bathroom.
you've never seen the beach.
What would be like an Idaho bathroom decor thing? It's just like
a
cowboy stuff.
cornfield?
Like a log cabin,
Yeah.
kind of like in the woods, wintry feel.
Yeah,
I don't know.
a lot of wolves and snow.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like a forest scape,
Correct.
more so than a beach scape.
Who do we
I
know
don't
that
think
lives
that's
in-
the case.
Who do we know that lives? In
If you're from Iowa,
States?
go ahead and give us a call 786-456-4837. Let us know.
You think that changes? Someone actually asked me, "Are the phone numbers
The
going to change?"
numbers?
I'm like, I have like the guest booking people ask me like, "Are we going to have a new call-in number?" I'm like,
Good
no
question.
idea.
Great question.
I don't
Good
know.
question for somebody else.
Somebody else,
I don't even know if
exactly.
I'm going in on Friday or not. Need
There's
to
been a
figure
lot
that
of
out
good,
because I
good
watch my
questions
baby
for
on
somebody
Fridays.
else.
Yeah.
Been a lot of good questions for somebody else these days.
I think the problem is I don't know who to ask the questions to get
Correct.
the answers.
Yeah, because I feel bad just like always going to Hildy. Like I feel so bad. This is like the 45th question I've asked Hildy this week. I'm like
Yeah.
tired of asking her. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Spider-Man meme. Everybody's pointing at everybody else,
Yeah, who
like, "Do you know?
knows?
You know? You know?
Mhm.
You?" And I'm like,
Did we talk about this on air? I think we did, right? About the kitchen situation, or was it just
Yeah,
a
you
behind
did.
the
Yeah,
scenes
we did.
conversation with it?
No, you
That's
did.
crazy to me.
I
The
didn't.
whole
I
new
didn't get.
kitchen. Why did we lose the old one?
Bro, where'd it go? Where
That's what
also?
I'm
Where's
saying.
the air fryer?
I
Also,
assume-
where's all
I
the
ass-
stuff that we had?
I assume they just returned the old cabinets, right? Because
You can't return. You can't return it a
kitchen.
year after.
Return a
Where do you
kitchen.
return a kitchen?
Oh, I'm looking this up.
I think they probably sold it.
Are you
somewhere.
Googling where do I return a kitchen?
It was an IKEA kitchen that they
I'm
put
saying-
together.
I know it's IKEA, so I'm like seeing if you can return stuff.
If you
fact-
guys know, and I don't know what the answer to this is, but I've heard that like, and maybe this will be a fun activity for the fans that would want this for some reason. Like, I heard that they were selling the couches, so presumably a lot of the things are going to be sold.
Dude, those
like,
couches are nice.
Where
Yeah.
you could make an
I
offer.
can
maybe
put one
they
in
could
here
buy
and
it for
then
you.
put I'm gonna tell Hildy I'll give you $150. You give me the couches.
Get on it now because I don't think
Yeah,
those
it's gonna be
couches are
gone.
going to be around for very long.
Did we
I
have
know
We
a
can make
kitchen?
this a double studio. Somebody can come in here and do the show with me here.
I know they want to sell off like some of the tiles, like the art tiles that we had in the studio.
There was
They
a
wanna auction
run
those
on
off.
those yesterday, by
Yeah,
the way.
well,
Yeah, I'm
those
proud.
are
I
good
don't-
ones.
A run.
Mhm.
A little odd.
Yeah, like
A little odd.
you know who was really excited to grab that stuff? Mike Jones.
I was like,
Yeah,
Well,
Mike,
I
Mike-
understand
yeah,
Mike,
Wait a
though.
second.
and everything. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on
There
a
you go.
second. What happened with these tiles yesterday?
There was a when you left, there was a
Yeah,
run
there
on
was a run
tiles.
on
Wait,
top.
when
Like
you
people
left.
went ripping it off the Velcro of the thing.
oh no, Billy took
Billy
some
started
time.
Billy
it.
took some.
Oh,
Yeah.
Billy took some?
Started it. Yeah, he's
I
think
he,
Billy-
No.
What do you have there, Billy? Let me see. What do you have over there?
Billy walked
inspired
out with
me,
like
honestly.
10 of them. Yeah.
You walked
Oh.
out with 10 of them?
3. I took out 3, and they
Let
were
me
only
see,
one.
let me
They
see.
were huge.
They're in my car. They're in my car. No, they
Oh,
were
no.
not.
They're gonna
I
melt
left
if
the
you leave
big
them in the
ones.
car.
I bet
I-
I took the most. I took all the Greg Cody ones.
Yeah,
I
I
Build
didn't.
up. I must have taken like 12.
Guys,
Really?
no.
Yeah.
Guys,
I had a nice stack when I was
you're
leaving. I had
the
like maybe
worst criminals. You guys are terrible. What you do is like because
I
here's the
didn't
thing.
say I took any.
Those were going to be inventoried and taken to the new studio. They were just the problem is right now we use Velcro. The new studio is magnetic. So they were just going to put them in storage and repurpose some of them and then auction off the other ones for charity. So what I
It's like
said
3
was
left. There's 3 left.
hey, that's ridiculous. The guys, come on. What I said was, guys, I got word that tomorrow these are going to be inventoried. If you have any that you may want, today might be the day to do that. And then I took
It was
home
done.
like but you guys can't take all of them. That's too obvious.
But
Why
see,
did you
you-
need to take 12?
you opened the door.
Take
You
12.
opened the
Take
door.
12.
with-
I
Dude,
wanna
look at my
build out-
wall. I have fucking nothing. Look at this.
That's your fault, though.
I'm
Yeah,
Why
that's
are
on
they
you.
painting?
That's on you. Why don't you have anything up there? You That's-
Because I have most of my stuff. You know what? Let's go.
You're
for it.
also standing, I believe. Do you not even have a chair in that room?
I am standing. Look, want to see?
what?
Yeah, I do actually want to see.
This
Bend it
is
down. Let me
weird.
see.
Yeah, let's get a tour.
Wearing pants?
Oh yeah. Come on.
What's happening? Why are we seeing
He's
this on your
sitting
head?
down. Now he's sitting down.
Is
That
your
wasn't a
camera
tour.
following you?
Right?
Nah.
You're
This
using
is
that
going
up
very
Oh, actually,
slowly.
kind of it is.
Whoa.
All right, this is awkward.
This
is
is really weird.
Oh, this
You
is
moved
sick.
I don't
your
like
hands
this
in
at
that
all.
position. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's an adjustable desk. There you go. Boom, let's go back up.
Oh, he's got a standing desk.
Yeah, because I can't.
Those
I
were,
can't-
by the way, at ESPN, when I was working at ESPN, if you were a big dog, you got an adjustable standing desk. If you were a little dog, you got like the
That's why
Jorge Ramos cubbies.
Can I
that's
ask
why
a
he has
question?
no art. It's 'cause
Back
he
to the
spends all his
theft
money.
from yesterday.
Who's theft?
Yes.
So yesterday, everyone just went crazy taking things.
Kind of.
Like who? Like, because I left ones that like had
Kept
me on.
me saying, I don't know anybody. I've talked that anything. I don't know.
I left ones that had me on them, like because I was like, well, I
Mhm.
would like this to be in the new studio. I'd like some things of me to be in the new studio. I'm not going to take everything that I'm on, but like Mike Jones theoretically could have taken like a giant thing of my
Like,
head.
I know.
What would he
Mike
do
Jones-
with
Mike
that?
Jones
Why?
Like I know Mike Jones was very into the club one. You know, like
He
those-
took the club one,
the
yeah.
club panel. Like somebody was like, "Oh, I want that one," and Mike Jones goes, "I already called that one," and it's like, "Whoa,
Nice.
all right,
What?
we're all, like,
He was grabbing him. He was like,
I get why
for Mike
Mike
Jones.
Jones is doing it though. Like he's going back to Kansas City. Like he's not going to be here anymore.
Really?
Like he wants to
Yeah.
take a piece
Wait.
of that with him. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yesterday was the last day I'll see Mike Jones.
No, 16th,
No,
next week
yeah,
you'll see him.
he'll be there
Yeah,
next
he'll
week,
be there
but-
next week.
I think
don't
before
like
we
that.
go officially live, he's already going to be gone. So
His
he
I don't
wants to
like
take
that.
all that.
His
he was sad.
replacement's
He was
there.
sad about it. He was sad about it because he's been here for like 3 months.
You know what's
Anyway.
something that's funny that I've been thinking about is we've been talking about how we're in the new studio starting on the 17th and that's our first day and that's going to be so exciting, and we're just doing content from the studio on Wednesday and putting it out. Like
That's what I was
we're
gonna say, like,
essentially
it's not really
we're
the 17th.
soft launching. We're like soft launching the new studio by putting out a couple of hours from the new studio on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Perfectly timed vacation by me.
I was just looking at the calendar. You're off. The
Dude,
first
I
week.
was-
Dude, 17 people are off. It's crazy.
I planned it in January. At that time, we were moving in February. Like it was like it got
Thought
Billy's face.
February.
I'm just saying, how was I supposed to know the exact week? Like it was kept getting pushed back, and it just
Wait.
happens. Our first week in the new studio is I'm out the whole week.
Where are you going?
I'm doing the whole like Disney and Legoland.
Oof,
Ooh,
that
That's
sounds
fun.
terrible.
Honestly,
No.
Legoland does sound terrible to me, but I like Disney. So I was like, if we're doing Legoland, we're doing a whole thing, and we're going to Disney too.
At
Like,
least
do
it's
you
not
like-
the middle of the summer.
I can't make a vacation just out of Legoland. Like I know.
Yeah, no one can.
But-
But like, are you doing like Magic Kingdom and all that too?
Well, we're staying right near Magic Kingdom, so we're gonna probably we got the park hopper, so we're probably gonna go to Magic
Oh,
Kingdom
nice.
at night for like the fireworks, but we're
There
gonna
you
do
go.
like the other parks during the day.
Yeah.
Who's
That's
She
the
goes
way
going.
to do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause you-
just
'cause-
the three of us.
Because you guys have kids, right? So like Magic Kingdom still makes sense. The last time I went to Magic Kingdom, like I went because Juliana hadn't been since she was like 7. I was
Mhm.
bored out of my mind. Like it was
Yeah, no.
terrible.
Dude,
Like,
the
you
Tron
can't do it
ride looks
unless you have kids.
sick.
That-
It does. It
The
does.
Tron
adding
ride,
rides.
Tron ride looks sick. By the way, me and Lewis and a couple of people went to Epcot a couple of weeks ago. The Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Epcot is fire.
Really?
Dude,
Yeah, we're
so
definitely-
good.
So sick.
So good.
Everyone
yeah, it's-
says that's the new best ride at all of Disney. 'Cause
Yes.
currently,
Yeah.
the top spot for me right now is the Avatar Flight of Passage ride.
Ugh,
That-
that
I love
makes me
that.
sick.
Oh, I
yeah.
love that. When
That
you're
one makes me
flying-
absolutely
when you're
sick.
Yeah,
on the
it's-
You've never
it's-
done that, Jeremy? Oh,
I haven't done it. I only so it's weird. I from the Disney like parks, I've been to Epcot for like a food and wine festival one time, like a few years ago, right after I had turned 21. And then basically other than that, I've only really done Magic Kingdom as an
I mean,
adult
that's-
because
you're
I
an
go
adult,
as like a
dude.
camp
That's
counselor.
respectable.
No, I
Yeah.
need to, but I want to go. I want to see all of these other parks and like see because I love going to like Universal and Islands and stuff like that. When I was in school,
That's
I
what I
had like
haven't
the
been to in
yearly pass
years.
and all of
Same.
that. They're so fun. Like
I'm
they're
waiting
those are
for my
still
daughter.
fun.
I'm waiting for my daughter to get like a little taller. Like we're gonna start hitting those
Roller
'cause she
coasters.
loves,
Coasters?
Like, she loves fast rides, so I think
Oh,
like, once
great.
she gets like old enough to do that stuff, like we're
Let's
gonna love those
go.
parks.
Are you guys roller coaster guys or no?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
hell
a
yeah.
little
Billy,
less so-
roller coaster guy?
A little less so in my mid 30s. I still will do it. Like,
Dude,
Well, why less so? Hold on, why
Have you,
less
have
so?
you have you started getting
noticed-
like the loss of
Yes.
equilibrium and shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
used to
That's
be able to do everything. Like,
No, but
me too.
that's
I could
happening to
ride-
me.
I could
Yeah.
ride
Yeah.
roller coasters over and over again. Now I ride one, I get out, I'm like,
Correct.
All right, I just need a second. Just
What's
need a
Dude,
second.
I went on the Hulk recently.
So that's
and dude, I used to love that Hulk, and then the second I get off, my feet cross, and I'm like, whoa,
Yo,
might have to slow these down.
both my fiance and I, we get off of the Hulk and we're looking at each other, and she looks at me and she's like, "So, I had my eyes
Dr.
closed
Seuss land?
at the love Dr. Seuss land. Had her
Overrated.
eyes closed to start, and she's like, and I opened my eyes and it was still black, so I closed my eyes, and I had the exact same thing. It made me black out for a few seconds because it was just so
not good.
crazy right off the top. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do this one again. I tried the new. What is the new one? Is it a new Jurassic Park one? I think it's the Velocicoaster.
So
Yeah.
fucking badass, bro. Amazing.
It's amazing.
no,
It's an incredible
so good.
roller coaster. You got to do it once. I won't do it again because there's one part of it where it like teases you like you're gonna go upside down and then jolts you
rips
back
you
the
back.
other direction. And that one too much for me. It
Do you
is
guys like
interesting.
going upside down?
Depends on the way that
No.
they do it.
I
think.
honestly
When
hate-
when
you
I'm
know what
on
I
it,
hate?
it's awesome. It's when I get
hate
off.
this part. I hate the beginning where
too.
you're going up to the very top.
When it's like catching
Once
you
we're
up this
going,
way.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
It's that
exactly.
first like where it's like, oh, my body weight's about to go onto this thing. It's like I hope this thing's really strapped in. All right, we're good.
What's the worst thing for you guys? Drops, upside down, corkscrews. Like, what's the thing that you don't like?
I think. Yeah, going up.
So
because
going up, that's it. Just because you're nervous
Just 'cause
about the
height.
fall.
I don't love heights,
Yeah,
so
me
it's like
too.
we're just very slowly going to the highest point of this thing. I'm like looking over. I'm like, okay, we could fall right now, and this would be terrible.
Oh,
While
Oh,
we're
dude,
going.
I love that.
You probably then would hate. Is it Shikra? Like what's the
Yeah,
one
That's
in
the
Secret
Busch
goes
Gardens?
90 degrees, dude.
Yeah.
Straight
You-
down.
Yeah, but it stops you.
Yes,
at the
it
edge. and
stops
you're
you
just
right at the
looking
edge.
down for like 5 seconds, and then
You're
it drops
literally
you.
you're literally at a 90-degree angle, just sitting there, like
Hanging. Yeah.
The
and then it
worst-
goes.
Rip Ride Rocket is the one.
Yeah, that
goes
one's-
Oh, dude.
That one.
totally
That
That
one's
backwards.
one's wicked.
I love
that's
that.
my shit.
It's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
roller
It's
coaster.
wicked.
It goes
Really?
straight up like this with the song playing.
Oh, it's awesome.
Fucking phenomenal.
Do you guys know?
Yeah.
Do you have a specific song that you play on there when you go on it? Because
I do.
there's multiple that I have, and they're both lame.
No, I selected off the secret menu, and I always do
The secret
Metallica.
menu.
Menu.
There's a secret
what
playlist
you
of
do is-
songs.
you hold on the screen, you hold the Rip Ride Rocket logo for like 10 seconds, and then a number pad appears.
Yep.
And then you push in the number of the song you want. You have to know it by memory, obviously. And then that song plays. So I always play Metallica for Who the Bell Tolls.
What are you
This-
like
Well-
on
well
like
done,
YouTube?
well
Are you
done.
like on a YouTube
Yeah, it's
looking at all
just
the
TikTok
hacks or something?
algorithms,
I don't
Right.
know
Yeah.
how I found out about that either. 'Cause
Yeah, me
I
neither.
somehow
Yeah.
just was told about it too. I feel like it was something that eventually, like Universal, purposely like put out there so that people would just sort of spread it.
Billy, have you ever been to like the knockoff Disney parks in Orlando? Like, it's
Like
those,
Old Town?
They're like little festivals
Old
and like
Town.
Fun
crappy
Spot?
rides. Dude, they
Fun
have-
spot.
they
I've
have-
been to all those.
I've been to those, and there's one that has the thing where it just goes up. It's like kind of like the Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's the thing where you're kind of like held in by a harness, and that's the one the worst. What you guys were talking about earlier, where all of your body weight is on this harness, where it's
You
like,
mean like the Doom one in
that
Islands,
one-
where just
Yes.
it's the cylinder and then it
Yeah.
just shoots you up and down?
but a
Not-
much
I think
less,
Jerber knows.
but
Yeah.
a less high, like a less quality version of that. It's like
Like a bit more
Did
of
we
a
say it,
carny
Billy?
one.
yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I feel like now
There was an incident on one.
there
of
was an
those.
incident
Yeah,
on one
somebody-
of those
somebody
not that
died,
long
yeah.
ago, and somebody died.
I
Yeah.
know that. I didn't.
Yeah.
wanna go
Yeah,
there.
it's rough.
Here we are.
Oh, well, I mean, you were kind of praising it. and-
Yeah, are we
Oh,
cutting that out?
no, he was not praising
I
it.
was saying I hate it.
You know
yeah,
which
those are the worst.
you know
I
which
actually like
roller
those too.
coaster. You know which roller coaster. Well, I was just trying to get a clean pickup in case we took the thing out. You know which? Well,
One more time. One more time. One more time.
One more time. One more time.
you know which roller coaster like makes me feel what you were saying about the changing directions is the Kilimanjaro one in Animal Kingdom.
Oh
where you-
yeah.
See, I haven't
you
been on
go up. Well, okay, so there's a part where spoiler alert. I don't know if you get spoiler alert roller coasters. They go up, and then it's like, oh my god, the track is broken, and it's like just
But
flying
that's
in the
Kilimanjaro.
air.
That's Everest. I think that's Everest, Billy.
Yeah, that's,
Oh,
that's
that Everest,
yeah,
Everest,
with the-
Everest.
with the
Backwards,
Yeti at
right?
Animal
It's a
Kingdom.
Yeti. Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Which
That's
is
awesome.
Kilimanjaro. Oh, Kilimanjaro's the safari one.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
other one.
Everest. So you go up and then you start going backwards. But you go
Uh-huh.
backwards really fast in a
Yeah.
spiral, and then it's like flashing lights, and then it's like darkness, and that's the thing where I get disoriented sometimes, and I'm like, whoa,
The
like
Guardians is kind of like that. So you get to
No,
a
I
certain
don't like
point that you
Yeah.
stop, and then it's like, oh damn, there's nowhere else to go. But the cool thing
Yeah.
about Guardians too is that so you're sitting in the pod, but the pod is also free moving
The whole
as
pod
the
rotates.
track is moving.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's
So
Yeah,
like
great.
there's no such thing as the front, right? Like
Oh,
you're in the
You're
front,
always moving.
but whenever there's a focal point they want you to look at, every single pod on the cart
like, twist
turns to
you.
see
It
that
aligns,
thing.
right? So
Correct,
it
yeah.
aligns
So-
you to this part, and then it
then it
shoots you
moves.
backwards. And
Yeah.
that one you actually get a different song every time too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Do you need to have
I got
watched
September last time.
Guardians of the Galaxy to enjoy it? I've never seen
No.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No,
I've also
You've never seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
It's
No.
Dude, it's
The first
it's one
one's
of the
good.
best Marvel
top,
movies.
Top
first one's
5 Marvel
good.
movie.
Easy.
Top
I
5.
mean,
Yeah.
but I don't watch a lot of Marvel movies, so like
I mean, when you're
well,
standing in
whatever.
like the waiting area, you might be a little lost. But then when you get on the actual ride, it's like a brand new story that they made just for the ride. So you know,
I waited an hour in line.
another
that's-
one that's not even that long.
That's not that bad.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we had
an hour's
lightning.
not
We
that
had
long.
lightning lane, and it was an hour.
Oh, that's
Sounds
yeah.
right though. 'Cause,
That's
like,
not.
the lines are so ridiculous.
Do you guys
that-
take advantage of single rider the way that you should?
Yes, I love
when
it.
it's my wife
love
and
it.
I, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Taking advantage of single rider is the best.
The best.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you can
Because
skip-
I can't, and I can't talk to you anyway. So-
Exactly
Right,
right.
right.
Exactly. The like all the Harry Potter world stuff, like that's the best part is you can go on every Harry Potter world ride in like 3 or 4 hours total, which is 3 or 4 rides in 3 or 4 hours by walking around, doing the train, doing everything, as long as you do single rider. If not, you're going to be there all day just trying to do those rides.
That is the one that I was gonna also admit that I feel like you're gonna judge me the most.
I won't judge you.
Haven't watched the Harry Potter movies.
Me neither.
I
don't
was
worry.
I was
haven't
that
seen a
way
second
into
of it.
college. I was that way
Yeah.
into college. They're really great to be perfect.
I just
That's what
recently-
like,
everybody
they're really
tells me.
great.
Yeah,
They're really
I
great.
just recently watched them all during like the pandemic because what
Yeah.
else was I doing? I'm like, let me just burn through all these. Yeah.
You're doing this whole movie thing though. What movie are you buying this year?
Dude, you know, actually, I feel like I've been slacking on the movies just because I've been watching shows. But last night, what was that? Oh, I was watching Prometheus.
But what
Yeah.
number are you buying?
I think like I'm only in the 20s or something.
You
But
should do a
last year-
movie podcast.
We have,
Yeah, we
we
don't
have too
have
many
enough
of those.
Podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I saw last night?
You could produce
Blade.
one if you want.
Yeah, I saw Blade. Wesley Snipes,
Never seen
badass.
Blade is actually one of the first Marvel movies, but a lot of
Yeah.
people don't know that. Yeah.
Dude, I love Blade. Blade is
Yeah.
sick.
New one. The new one's
As a
coming in
character
2 years. Well,
with
2 years.
Mahershala Ali,
for
that's gonna be
yeah.
fire.
I
And now
have
that they're
s-
doing rated R's, it's gonna be probably rated R.
I have so many movies that I have not seen that I just have to nod along and pretend like I have because I feel the fear of the judgment of people, particularly with this show. Like there's so many like
The Mina
80s
Kynes
movies.
move.
Yeah, it's the meat, but I don't pretend to add details like I've seen
You
it.
just
That's
nod
like a whole
along.
other level.
You just
I'll just
nod
like
along.
nod along. The same as we were talking before we started recording about how if your headphones come unplugged on a Zoom and you just sort of nod along to make people think that you still know what you're talking about. That's me with all of these movies. Like there's so
throw in
many
little
classic,
lines.
all the 80s action movies. Like I haven't seen any of them. I wasn't raised with any of that. So there's so many movies that you guys reference all the time.
Jeremy, I had to go back and watch. Like Point Break, Mike and Stugotz talk about Point Break all the time. I had to
Never
go back
seen
and
it.
watch it because I had
Yeah,
never seen
exactly.
it. Roadhouse, all
Right.
of the Patrick Swayze movies, I
None
had
of
to go
that.
back and watch. 'cause I'm
I've
like,
never
I
seen any
didn't
of
grow
it.
up with this.
Have you seen,
exactly. I'm the same
Have
way.
you seen Air Force? Have you seen Air Force One?
No, they get off my plane.
So
I've
you guys
never
have no
seen it.
idea. That's
No
the
idea what
reference
that is.
goes for.
No.
This though I think is where we need, and I say we very loosely because like I'm in the middle here, but we need to take a stand. You know what I mean? Where it's like, let's keep talking about these movies from 1979 and 1980. It's like, no, you're old. We're not talking about that anymore. Let's talk about this other thing instead. You know what I mean? Because like I would get that too, and like, oh, you guys haven't seen anything. It's like, yeah, because that movie was made before I was born, which is fine. Like I'll watch a
Right.
movie before I was born, but like also you're not really connecting with the same, like talking about Die Hard in 2023 is
I had to
not the same
watch
as
Die
talking
Hard,
about
another one that I
Die
had to go
Hard
back and watch.
I've
in
never seen Die Hard.
1994. Well,
Yep.
you know
I
what
was
mean?
I was
Not-
born in 1995. There,
Die
most of
Hard's
this
not
is blown
that
right
bad.
over my head, man.
Yeah,
Die
Die
Hard's
Hard's
not
not
bad.
bad.
No, I
And there's a bunch
want
of
to
them.
watch Die Hard. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
against watching these movies. I've wanted to do it, but it's like a rededication of all of this time. It was the same thing during the pandemic. I did the same thing as you, Fuentes, and I remember I think I even like tweeted just like reply with every movie you think I've maybe never seen. And I just went through night after night after night with all of these movies because I haven't seen the majority of them. And my dad wasn't really an action movie guy, so he didn't raise me with any of them. It was all I've ever watched is baseball movies. I've watched Field of Dreams 150 times. I've seen
never
Rookie
seen
of
Field
the
of
Year.
Dreams either.
That's good.
Overrated.
All
Never
right.
seen it. All I know is the clip of like, if you build it, they will come, and then people walking out of the corn. Like I was like, oh,
Ghosts.
okay.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
what you got. That's it.
I remember.
Good.
I remember.
Well,
cry-
they play catch, and that's basically.
Yeah, I remember crying when James Earl Jones walked into the corn. when I
That's
was a
what I'm
kid.
saying, man.
Does that mean
You
he
got-
Great
dies?
movie.
You
It's implied.
spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
You need to we need to make a pact though to kind normalize like, hey, let's let's keep
make a
things a little
sounder.
bit younger if possible. Yeah, we should make a sounder.
All right, Yeti,
Dan
if
did
you're
ask.
listening, let's make a
Dan did-
sounder. You're an old guy.
Dan did ask Chris for a sounder that one of the days that you were out because he did the thing where he talked over someone, and I just went in and like in his ear, and he's like, "We should have a sounder that we play on air when people do that." But we need to do that because and I had this conversation, Jeremy, with Stugotz recently. I think it was like on Stupodity or somewhere. I don't even know where these things go anymore. But I told him, and I was like,
God bless baseball.
Stugotz, we need to stop asking people about the Grateful Dead. Like, we need to stop asking people. Like, anytime anyone says they're into music, like Austin Eckler was playing guitar, he's like, "Oh, you like the Grateful Dead?" It's like, no, he's like 24 years old. He's not like the Grateful Dead.
The Grateful Dead. Yeah.
Doesn't know who the Grateful Dead are.
Right.
Like, we need to stop asking young athletes about the Grateful Dead. Like, that is something that
Correct.
people of your age love. And he's like, "Oh, Bill Walton." I'm like, Bill Walton is, or no,
He's
I-
79.
He said
He-
Bill
no.
Walton.
no,
Bill Walton is the person to ask about that.
he used Luke Walton as an example.
Oh,
And I
his
confused him with Bill Walton.
His dad is the
Exactly.
most famous Deadhead. His dad
Yeah,
is
and I
the
was like-
most famous Deadhead.
He said Luke Walton. I confused him with Will. I'm like, he's 80. He's like, no, he's young. I'm like, oh, the son. I'm like, yeah, but look at who his dad is. Like, this is not the good example that you
Tainted
think
jury
it is.
pool. It's a
Exactly
tainted
right.
jury pool.
Asking me about Elton John, like, sure you can, but it's like that's what my dad likes. Like,
Right.
Well, it's like asking, it's like asking. Let me think about this.
I
like
actually
Max
like Elton John,
Strus.
but my dad is like, yeah.
It's asking like a young person, like, "Hey, you like the Grateful Dead?" It's like, no, never heard of them. Like, it's a bunch of guys in their 60s and 70s playing music. I don't know.
My
who they
only
are.
reference point to the Grateful Dead growing up was the Cherry Garcia Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Yep.
I asked my dad, I'm like, "Hey, who's Cherry Garcia?" He's like, "Well, it's a guy Jerry Garcia, but they do a pun for cherry ice cream." And I'm like, "Oh,
I
cool."
love
And I liked it.
that.
So
That's the only reference point. That's
only cultural
terrific.
reference point I had to Grateful Dead was Cherry Garcia.
Well, that'll do it for another episode of Mystery Crate. What do we got going on? Blah, 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 blah. Chris?
Oh, wow, Jeremy, that was just so.
I gave up. I thought people were going to join me.
good.
I thought people were going to join me in it.
Well,
I'm not
no,
new
nobody
witty.
joins you. It's that's kind of a a singular thing.
You did
You
well.
gotta
Don't
do
worry
it.
about it. What is Witty doing, by the way? Does anyone know? Can we talk about this? He just kind of sits there.
He was on Cooligans this week. I think I saw him.
He's
Yeah,
part
but
of
from
the-
his house,
He's part of the
not
transition.
from the studio.
Billy.
What does
Yeah,
that
he's
mean?
helping us
He
move.
He
Does
was
he
part
just
of
go
the.
and like punch in because like he was playing like on his computer yesterday or something?
He was. I mean, he had a part of the Clevelander history, right? So he wanted to celebrate the last day.
But he was there all week.
But he was he was there for like
He was there
different
all week.
times.
You can check Woody out on Monday on the Greg Cody Show with Greg Cody.
Oh, exclusive.
What is he doing there?
Just
Yeah, what are
getting
you
a
guys
little-
doing there?
Just trying to get the rub from the LeBatard Show. Like, hey, come on, listen. Like, hey, Woody's going to say some stuff about why he left, even though we haven't done the interview yet, so I don't know.
He's not going to say anything.
Didn't he already say it?
He's going to say the real reason why he left today on the Greg Cody Show, even though
No,
we
he
haven't
won't.
done it yet.
Today?
Well, we're doing
Monday.
it today. It's Friday.
What day is today?
Whatever.
Today's
The
Friday.
first day of the rest of our lives, Billy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah.
Wow.
All right, just go
We should
check
all
out
go to
our
Universal
shit.
together.
Yeah, I mean,
I was thinking that like field
You
trip
should
to
do
that,
that.
shit. Yeah, and we'll bring Danny Benz to come and like film the whole thing.
That's Stunt Dan for the people that don't know.
To stunt Dan. Yeah, had to
Danny
give him a cool
Benz.
nickname, Danny Benz.
Danny Benz.
Is
All right,
that
goodbye,
a nickname
everyone.
you just gave him right now?
No,
No,
I have
he's called it
I
a
have
couple
them all
times.
planned out. I got Danny Benz. I got not GQ, which is the new engineer, because he's like,
Danny-
no, they call me GQ because my
Danny
name is Danny.
GQ, my boy.
Yeah,
Another
no,
part of my
no.
tree, by the way.
No,
Billy.
unless you're Brad Pitt on the cover, you're not nothing GQ.
Who?
So Danny,
Wait, hold on a
not
second.
GQ.
Who is GQ?
Is it
He's
you,
just,
Mike
no,
Jones?
his name is
That-
not GQ.
His
Yes.
name is
That's Mike
Danny
Jones?
Gonzalez Quevedo, so I
Is
call
it-
him Danny GQ.
He's
No,
the one that
his
worked at CBS before?
I don't know.
Uh,
He's the new Mike Jones, the guy that's been shadowing Mike Jones.
He was the one that
Correct.
worked at the Marlins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he part of your tree? And why do you have so much power and influence in people getting hired?
Oh,
That is a good question.
Because
Da-
everyone that's
Danny-
gotten hired is Tony's friend, and then we wonder why nothing works
And Lewis's
out.
friend.
Mhm.
that
What do you
means
mean by that?
Jeremy's under my tree?
Yeah, I am under your tree.
I've gotten 0 people hired.
Danny helped me.
I have no power and influence. I've made suggestions. No one takes them
I just
seriously.
suggested Jeremy. I mean, I wasn't like, I wasn't like walking
Thanks for
in
that.
like, we need to hire this man. I just, passed along the
a
info.
presidential thumb.
Yeah.
Um,
It was really
I
fun
know-
when you guys hired me to edit 2 podcasts. It was really cool.
That's what it
When,
was fun. Yeah.
it was really fun when I was hired to edit 2 podcasts, and all of my time was dedicated to Mystery Crate and South Beach sessions. That was really fun.
You don't still do South Beach sessions, right? That
No, I
one
don't
got
do South
taken
Beach
off of your
sessions,
plate.
but I
that's,
do
That's Cougs.
Everything else.
Everything else. I
The
do everything
Cougs?
else.
Yeah.
If you're listening to it on the LeBatard and Friends Network, Jeremy edits it.
Yep, just about.
And on top of being a sideline reporter for the
I will. I handle mine usually.
Yeah, you do.
Well, almost
No.
always. Like I woke. I had to put
handle
out
Cinephile,
Stupidity this
actually.
morning. I was up at 5 a.m. working on that.
Yeah, the
If you want to
reality
hear
is,
Mel
is
Kiper, new episode out now.
I don't actually edit
Wow.
everything. I don't.
Nice
I don't
plug.
actually edit everything.
It
But-
feels like Jeremy edits everything for him.
Feels
Yeah.
feels like a
He's got
lot.
42 jobs.
Yeah, just a little.
So back to my Danny's. There's Danny Benz, Danny not GQ, and Alpha Dan. We all know who Alpha Dan is.
Alpha
Who
Dan.
was Alpha Dan?
The Alpha and Omega, the ruler of all. Dan Le Batard. Yeah,
Why don't you just call him Dan? You're making. His
I
name
do.
longer.
I do call him Dan, but in my brain it's Alpha
I
Dan.
will give you $1
Yes, please do
if
it.
you call
Walk
him
up to
Alpha
him.
Dan every time for a week. Every time you see him for a week, you call him Alpha Dan. I'll give you $1.
Each
He
time
might just be
that-
confused.
each
Now
time
we're
that he
Yeah,
calls him
yeah.
Alpha Dan.
Yeah.
He's not worth the
Yeah,
squeeze
for a
there.
week. Because saying it once is fine because Dan's usually like in a rush. So
In a
he, like,
rush, he's
won't-
doing something. Yeah.
Exactly. He won't. It won't register.
Won't
But if you
register.
call him Alpha Dan every time for a week, he will.
All right,
it'll
Billy,
be
what do you
like,
have to
"Why you calling him
promote?
this?"
What do you have to promote?
I-
Come
He already
on.
did. Stupidity. Mel Kiper,
Well-
5 a.m. He was up.
Well, hold on. There's a Mel Kiper episode today, and then on what day is today? On Wednesday, we had an episode that went out. It was late Wednesday, so you probably haven't gotten to it yet because it went out like 5 in the afternoon. Greeny and the Andy Roddick interview that I did with Mike
Wow.
because
The
Stugotz
lost interviews.
failed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
So,
Tony, it's
Okay, yeah, it's
UFC.
two things.
Chris Cody, Cinephile.
Yeah.
Cinephile.
Well, like Tony though, how can people actually get like UFC things like that's not just one post that they have to like find by accident?
What do you mean by that?
Like how
not your
like
Substack.
this is in town in Miami. You're going
Correct.
to all these events. Are you covering it? And how can people follow the coverage that you're doing?
Great question. You can follow it at 10 Day Tony on Instagram. We're going to be out there putting social clips and stuff like that. Substack, rearnakedchoke.substack.com. Do not go to rearnakedchoke.com as Chris saw. I don't know what's on there. I just figured it's not
I'm
good.
really worried about it.
Don't do it.
don't do it. So rearnakedchoke.substack.com. And then Juju and I will be putting out a post-fight conversation live from the AAA right after the fights. That'll go on Monday's feed. But other than that, Billy, that's a great question. A lot of the MMA content that I have that I want to put out, I have to put on YouTube because I don't really have.
Jeremy just clicked it.
I clicked
Jeremy
it.
Clicked it.
I clicked it.
And
What is
for
it?
those
I
and
don't.
for-
I immediately closed
I
it.
saw it light up. I saw the pink light up on his face.
Whoa!
Whoa.
And-
Well, it's the
And-
website's pink.
for those accustomed to your MMA hangout, that's not happening because
No MMA hangout this weekend because we will be
Yes.
live at the fights. Not to plug somebody else, but I will be boots on the ground for another watch party. My boys over at MMA Fighting, Ariel Hawani and Connor Burks and them, they not Ariel, but the guys from MMA Fighting do a watch party as well. So I'll be boots on the ground for that for a little bit.
You're gonna like zoom into them and like.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom into their show,
Nice.
talk some shit, and then hop out.
Little side hustle cash.
A little networking. A little networking.
Very, very dramatic with boots on the ground, but
Yeah.
What
yeah.
Okay, goodbye.
What am I then?
Okay,
You're
goodbye.
there.
Okay,
Okay,
goodbye.
goodbye.
Okay,
But
goodbye.
but I'm boots on the ground.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
goodbye.
okay,
Okay,
goodbye.
goodbye. Okay, goodbye. Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Miami mic'd up?
Yeah, listen to that.
No, bye. Goodbye.